I got this in the mail, a $650 certificate at the Porsche Experience Center in Los Angeles. Let's do a full review. Let's go. First, I went to the website to book the reservation and car. A bit confusing to navigate, but I found my way around. I just wanted to book my reservation online and choose a car. At the top, I chose Book Now and navigated to the date and time. Here, I was able to see the cars to choose from and their price, but no option for automatic or manual stick shift. All of the cars had a time for 1.5 hours. This is where a damage liability option came up, that I'll mention later. Oh boy. Anyhow, I found another portion of the site that allows me to choose the car and the option. It showed they had only 2 stick shift options. I went to book it, and there was no date and time tied to this part of the site. I gave up and I called Porsche. When I called, the person answering said, "Yes, you have to call for the reservation." What a waste of time. They made it look like you could book this online. I guess the site wasn't ready yet, which I think was strange because the Atlanta facility has been open for years. Then the lady gave me the heads up to make sure that I signed the waiver. Here we go. I'm no lawyer. It seemed okay, but for this part. If I crash, I pay $10,000, but I can pay an extra $50 and only pay $2,000. I paid the extra $50 from the gift certificate. I figured there was a possibility of me sliding into a wall, but I'll try not to. I do understand this, so a nut job thinks twice about being careless. Another bummer is they don't allow cameras in a car, so no GoPro strapped to my head allowed, which I hate to say in this video. You won't see me racing around the track. You'll see everything else though. When I first pulled up, I had these 4 staring at me, which was a nice welcome. I checked in at the front desk. They gave me this badge, so I guess they know I'm not some random guy walking around and I actually have an appointment. They also gave me this piece of literature about the facility. There are 2 restaurants here, Restaurant 917 that requires an appointment ahead of time, and Speedster Cafe, which you can just walk right up. I didn't make an appointment for the restaurant, but I did grab a bite at Speedster Cafe that I'll show. They have meeting event spaces for larger groups, then the gallery of cars, which I'll definitely check this out and show you the cars in the gallery. Also a retail store and a simulation lab. Then when you open this up, it tells you about the track you'll be on. In total, there are 8 track experiences. One is for off-road for the Macan and Cayman SUVs. The descriptions are color-coded. Acceleration straight, which allows you to floor it to hit some speeds, and at the far end, there's a 33% banked curve, which lets you feel some G-force. Handling circuit, testing your skills on the S-turns. Ice hill, which resembles driving on ice with a turn at the bottom. This area is a wetted epoxy surface to make you lose your rear end. Low friction handling course. This is a polished surface to work on understeer and oversteer conditions. Kick plate, which was supposed to move with hydraulics to induce the car into a slide. This wasn't working, but you could still go on it and turn the wheel to have the car back end fishtail. Low friction circle, same polished surface with water, but going around in a circle like doing donuts and allowing you to compensate for the car fishtailing and spinning out. Dynamic area, which is basically an open paved road to practice different driving characteristics. And then off-road, which they say simulates a ravine, falling lumber, and has a 40-degree vertical descent. Again, this was for the SUVs. Okay, enough of this. Let's take a look at the gallery. A model of the track and a Porsche 919 Le Mans race car. Take a look at this at another angle. I had to zoom in on what Porsche calls this car the Pink Pig, which they also raced, but it seems like this is a replica because the race one had a large tail. It would have been nice if Porsche gave some history or background information on the cars that they're displaying. A race car again, no idea the history because the little kiosk there is blank. Thanks, Porsche. Then I pan over to this nice 918 Spider. The exhaust on this thing is just bad, in a good way. This one did have a working kiosk that showed the price of $222,000. No history though. It seemed like it was for sale. Behind the glass, there are race cars being built. This black one was all carbon fiber. Here's another look at the garage and the glass. Another old race car that I know nothing about because the kiosk isn't working. It's nice though. In about 15 minutes I was done looking at the cars. It was time to check out the sim lab. The lab works two ways. One, with looking at a screen or putting on a VR headset, but it's the same machine. When I was there, it was completely empty, regardless of them saying I should book an appointment. The cost was a half an hour for $35. The VR headset was more with the same simulator, but you just have a headset on. They sent me back to the front desk to pay for the sim. When I paid for the sim, they gave me another card to hang around my neck. I went on the sim and lasted for about 10 minutes and started to get motion sickness, so I stopped. I figure right now is a good time to grab something to eat. I worked my way to Speedster Cafe. I grabbed this sandwich and a bottle of water. The sandwich was smoked salmon tuna fish style with mayo and shrimp risotto. The price was reasonable, about $13 plus change. Getting it at Porsche, I thought it was going to cost me as much as an oil change. But no, it was pretty good. Here's a quick look at the gift shop. I'm trying to guess which 911 I'm going to take out, and I saw this canary yellow. I'm thinking that's the one. If I crash, at least they'll be able to find me. I'm bummed I couldn't show the track with me racing around it, but I was surprised 1.5 hours was a long time. Again, I started to get very motion sickness and had to stop at times. The instructor was very nice and informative and sensitive to the fact that I was about to yak. He also told me how to drive the car for best handling and was very knowledgeable. The entire staff was great and was very nice. I do have to say there were a couple downsides. The motion sickness, which I understand is pretty frequent from visitors, I was getting it big time on the sim and the track. The kiosk not working, but it looks like they were working on this. A big negative with the gift certificate was that I could only use it on the simulator and driving the car. It wasn't redeemable at the gift shop or both restaurants. So now I have about $100 on the gift card that I can't use. I guess I could pay extra and do the track again, but the motion sickness wasn't fun. If I could overlook these things, I think it's well worth it. The instructor, at least who I had, was really informative and allowed me to take the car to the limit. But I would be careful. The track is about as wide as a 2-lane highway with concrete pillars on the sides. The car's handling and braking and accelerations are amazing, and it was real fun. Well, it's time for me to go, but I hope you found this informative, and if you like this, please let me know with a thumbs up and subscribe.